I'd like to, can someone volunteer to read the definition? Would like to try? Come on, let's practice our verbal skills. Who would like to try? Just read the definition of effective communication.
Na lang po.
Yes, Din, thank you.
Effective communication, it is process by which information is exchanged between or among individuals using the right channels to make sure that the recipient of information understood it the same way the sender did.
Thank you, Din. You see, exchanged was mentioned by at least two of you. Yeah, that was Lay and Glay, right? There's an exchange between the sender and the receiver or the recipient. It was mentioned, right? Also, somebody mentioned earlier that the information, I think it was Din, and also Glay mentioned that the recipient received the information or understood it the same way the sender did. Like if you ask them or if you clarify or if you want to verify, they're going to be able to give the information to you exactly the way, exactly with exactly the same contents that you sent to them or that you gave them, right? So it's a process. One thing though that we also need to take note, right channels, the word right channels, because now, right, there are already different channels of communication. What are these channels, by the way? Anyone can answer. So what are the channels of communication now? Yes, right.
Texting or calling.
Yeah, texting, calling, correct. Thank you. Anything else?
Body language.
Okay. Body language. All right, that's a component. We're going to talk about more about that later. But yes, that's one way how we communicate. When we talk about the channels, we're talking about the means, okay? Or it's like the way we transmit the message, the tools that we use. What are those? So we're using texting, we're using phone calls, email, yes, we're communicating through email. Thank you, Din. Anything else? What else are you
Social
using?
media.
Social media, messenger, right? What else? Ano pa ba? So specific, what? Specific communication tools or social media communication tools. Facebook Messenger, what else?
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp,
Instagram.
Instagram, that's right.
Zoom.
Okay. Zoom. How come we forgot about Zoom? We're using it right now. Diba? Ano pa? What else pa? Discord. Younger people, freelancers are using Discord more and more these days, right? My students are using Discord. They're not very fond of Messenger. Younger people are using Discord now. So yeah, so these are the channels of communication. Oh, we're forgetting something. There's one more. There's one more that the most basic one.
Face-to-face talking.
That's right. That's right, diba? Masyado, parang mas rare na ata yun ngayon, no? For many industries, it's becoming more rare now, no, than online interaction. Sa inyo baglay, considering that you're working in the IT field, which is ano, which is mostly used now?
To be honest, in my current company and my field, usually it's more on like this Zoom and Microsoft Teams. However, there are instances we need to have a face-to-face, but the dominant part is on the and this.
very convenient, no? Like you'd see clients or your teammates every now and then, but most of the time you're using online platforms.
Yes.
All right, thank you so much. So, see, take a look at what effective communication is. There is a process of exchange of information using the right channels, depending on the type of information that we would like to share. You say there are information which is best shared whenever we are talking face to face, or um also best shared when through email, right? And also there is clarity in the delivery, okay, that the recipient understood the message the same way. Okay, now, according to Rich Simmons, he is a trainer and a communication trainer. All right, he said that communication is only effective when we communicate in a way that is meaningful to the recipient, not just ourselves. What would it mean to hi baby boy? Are those your kids? All right. So sige. So yes, what would it mean to us, right? If we are the only one who understands our own message, it will not serve others much. Tayo lang. And it will not make much difference because we're the only one na nakikinabang dun sa message na yon. Right? Guys, have you experienced this? Have you experienced when you had to communicate something but it was misunderstood? Have you experienced that? Si Din, experience mo na ba yan? It could be at your work or in your personal life. For everyone, there's a question for everyone. Din,
Yes po.
yes. How about you, Glay?
Yes. In both.
Yeah. And of course, I bet si Layden. And walang exempted dyan eh. Even myself, I have experienced this, okay? Especially sa personal life natin. Kasi in our work, we try to be as efficient as possible when it comes to our communication with our team members, our subordinates, diba? Kasi trabaho yan eh. But it happens most of the time din. This happens more in our personal interactions. And the thing is, whether that's in our personal interactions or sa workplace natin, 'di ba? It's both can be frustrating, especially if there are things, no, that could be compromised in the process. We don't like that, lalo na sa trabaho. How would you feel? I've got a question. I'm just curious, a curious question. How would you feel if you tried your best, no? Like you you communicated it verbally and you made sure that you gave the complete information to your subordinates or to your teammate. Okay, just imagine the situation, Din, Glay, and Lay. You communicated it verbally and made sure that you gave all the information. You had the list. Here's the list. It's in front of you while you're giving the information. Secondly, you sent an email with the same information in the email. And then come the next day, it was not executed the way it was supposed to, the way that you told them, like say the previous day, through verbal communication, verbal face-to-face communication, and email. Has it happened to you? Then has it happened to you?
Yes.
It happened to you? Glay, has it happened to you?
Yes.
Yes. And how about you, Lay? Has it happened to you?
Yes.
Yes, right? So next question is, how did you feel and what did you do? Would like to to share first. Try to recall that one moment that you experienced it. How did you feel that time and what did you do to correct the situation?
Um,
Yes,
I'll
Glay.
go first.
Mhm.
It happened last December.
Mm.
I call one of my team members. I told him all the instructions, and afterwards calling him, I made a list of that instruction. However, later that afternoon, it was not executed in a way that I need, or I I want, or is the required.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, honestly, I feel frustrated somehow at both sides. At first, I was frustrated at him for not following the exact or the list that I messaged him and in the hall. Then and thinking I was also, and afterwards I talked to him, and then I realized maybe you, if we're talking to we are talking together, I should let him also repeat what I say, or I must confirm what his thoughts are, um in a way that we are on the same understanding. Because not all, based on my experience, not all people are the same in receiving your communication. Others might have different take or perspective.
Thank you so much, Guy. I agree. So, wala namang na-compromise na client nun.
None naman.
Thankfully. Fortunately, no? Oo. Thank you so much, Glay. Alright, especially pag-process, di ba? Okay. Anybody else? Din, have you experienced this? And so, how did you feel that time and what did you do?
Yes, it happened also to me. And yeah, I feel frustrated. And what I did is like ask myself, like, where did I go wrong? Here's the list. Is it me ang nagkulang? Then I also asked the receiver why you did do this and that. May kulang ba sa information? Then we went to the process. Each of the process on the list, we went together so that he will be able to execute each process on the list correctly and properly as I've cascaded in the list and email.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Din. I like it that you said that you're going to validate next time, right? So you had a plan of action to make sure that it's not going to happen again and that you guys are on the same page. Whereas for Din, what I really like about it is that you mentioned that you reflected first. Where did I go wrong? So that's a very good characteristic of someone who is in the leadership position. Okay. That's very humble of you to reflect. There is something that you lacked in the process, okay, and you don't want to put the blame on somebody else. So that's a good job. And then you also mentioned that the next time you guys will go through the list together to make sure that your subordinate understood everything correctly. Great job.